I so clearly remember being 100 pounds overweight, counting every calorie, but not actually changing my chicken wing and bush light tendencies. And when I came back to my faith in 2016, and God called me then in 2017 to start coaching, I knew I had to really change. And even in the past 2 years, all these years later, He continues to call me in a new lesson of releasing legalistic diet culture and embracing a Jesus led meal plan. It's just, I know it's a complete and total mental shift, and it's not one that we just make overnight, but prayerfully we can. So grab your notebook and pen and let's chat.
Hey, sister, welcome to Her Weight Loss Mindset. Are you sick of trying diet after diet and not losing weight? Do you wish you could find easy meal prep ideas for your family so you're not standing in the kitchen yet again, wondering what everyone is going to eat for dinner that's in line with your goals? Do you spend hours Googling easy workouts but then have no time to do them because your motivation only goes so far? Hey there, friend. I'm Lindy Schlabach, Christian fitness and nutrition coach, encourager, and friend. I gained 100 pounds in my late 20s and struggled for years to get it off. 7 years ago, I found a basic system that works and has helped me lose over 90 of those pounds. I've been working with women in online fitness and nutrition ever since. In this podcast, I'll teach you how to lose weight in a way that honors God without obsessing about the scale, and meal plan and prep for your family, and follow a macro-based plan that allows you to eat the foods you love while you reach your goals. It's time to give God your health journey and watch Him make you new from the inside out. You've got this, sister. Now go grab your pre-workout or your third coffee like me, and let's chat.
Are you ready to take control of your weight loss journey in a Holy Spirit led approach? Join the framework. We are going to kick off February 3rd, and we are going to take a 90-day deep dive into your habits and truly learn to give God your weight loss journey and let the Holy Spirit lead. So you can find the link to join us below. There's an application. If you want to fill that out, we can chat, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. You can find that at herweightlossmindset.com. So, oh my gosh, probably almost 2 years ago at this point, God called me to eat more food and follow a macro based plan and stop limiting food groups. Food has always had too much power over me, and I still struggle with that. It's been stealing my connection to Him. Um, so when He really called me, it's been a long time since He actually called me to eat more food, but I didn't listen. And pretty soon, I had found myself completely overtrained, underfueled. My body was not changing, and almost a year ago, I started eating about 600 to 800 more calories per day. And that first 30 days, I gained over 6 pounds, and I was really frustrated. And I was in my prayer one morning, and I was like, okay, Lord, you told me to follow this macro-based plan. Why am I gaining all this weight? And He just kept saying to me, do you trust me? Do you trust me? Do you trust me? Of course I trust Him. Um, and so I just stuck with it. And probably about 45 days after that, I found myself 10 pounds down. And then I was 15 pounds down. And then I was 20 pounds down. And then I was 25 pounds down. And I was like, okay, Lord, I see what you're doing here. And so today I want to talk to you about your dream body. Are you dreaming of your dream body? It's a new year. So many times people set New Year's resolutions. I personally do not. Um, but I understand that people do. And so I want to talk to you today about what I learned and why, if you're dreaming about your dream body, why your nutrition is so key. And we've been taught so many unhealthy practices. Today, I'm going to give you some steps to actually embrace a Jesus led meal plan that I've really learned through my own personal journey, but then also working through clients in the framework is, macros leads to like learning to follow a macro based plan leads us to an intuitive eating plan. But if we don't first understand macros and why our bodies require the fuel that they do, intuitive eating isn't really going to work yet because our bodies haven't been prepped and prepared. So in the framework, once you hop in there and we work through your macro plan, we'll create steps then to teach you how to learn to really listen to your body, be led in a Holy Spirit led way. And so you're not constantly then thinking about food, because the idea of this entire premise or process is to allow the Holy Spirit to do the work. So we're not focusing on any more fat diets. We're not worrying about any unused gym memberships. We are truly going to connect with the Holy Spirit in operating in His power. Because when we operate in His power, we get to be free of food fear and diet culture. And what a beautiful way that is to live. Macro based eating is really a formula. So it's based on your current weight, your age, your height, your activity level, whether you're exercising or not. And that I have a formula that I use specifically. And so once we figure out what that number is, your second month of the framework, we work through creating like specific plans for you every day to make sure that you're hitting that macro count. So ideally, the goal is in the next 12 to 18 to 24 months, if you don't want to continue to lock macros, I do just because I want the visual. I want to make sure I'm getting the fuel. But the idea is to say, okay, now I know the amount of food I need to be eating. Because when I first start working with clients in the framework that second month, the majority of them are anywhere from 800 to 1200 calories under fueled. I say this all the time. I'm going to say it for the rest of my life. The average 200-pound woman who's not exercising requires a minimum of 2,000 calories per day to lose weight. Women, on average, burn 1,500 calories a day at rest. So if you have a fit tracker and you're tracking your average calorie burn and you're eating 1,500 calories a day and you're trying to follow a 900 to 1,200 calorie counting diet and you're not losing weight, it's because your body's not getting what she needs. So if you're finding yourself burning that average of 1,500 calories, you really need to be eating. This is a basis, okay? I'm not a medical doctor. This is what I have found statistically, habitually over the course of 8+ years working with clients, okay? You need a minimum of 2,000 calories. Like when you go to the grocery store or you look on any nutrition label and it's based on a 2,000 calorie diet, that's why, because that's what your body needs. Not saying that the FDA has it all figured out. Trust me, I know that they don't. But God gave us taste buds. He gave us all of this food in the earth to eat. And when we can figure out a way to tie in our Holy Spirit connection with a macro based eating plan, that's when our dream body happens. But you have to get out of your own head. You have to get out of your own way because everything we've been taught about weight loss or diet culture, it's wrong. It's a marketing scheme. It's a way to make money. I see people doing this Ozempic without healing the thoughts in their head. I see people doing keto-based diets that aren't fixing the issues in their head. And yeah, they'll lose weight for a time, but then it always comes back because our bodies require carbohydrates for energy. Our bodies are never going to be sustained on a pill that is making us lose weight. One, God designed our bodies so perfectly, so intricately. If you are a woman or know a woman who's ever gotten pregnant, watch what God did. The beautiful process of creating a tiny baby and a baby growing inside a mother's womb. Think about when you get injured and how your body just knows how to heal. He's created us so perfectly, yet we try to control all the aspects because we want our dream body so bad. We're not willing to even consider that all the diets out there are not in our best interest. Potatoes, beans, rice, these things all grow from the ground. Carbohydrates are our body's main energy source. We have to have them. I eat on average 220 grams of carbohydrates every single day. That comes from fruits, from vegetables, from potatoes, from bread, from rice, from all of these things that collectively come together to create your macro-based plan along with your protein and your healthy fat. Low fat, no fat. Like if you've ever followed a no fat, low fat diet, I have. Our hormone um, our hormones operate on fat in our body, healthy fat in our body. Okay. So working to understand how macros work, how your body is fueled, what your body actually needs, that is going to be the key solution for you reaching your dream body goals. And when you join the framework and you start moving through these traumas and triggers and you start recognizing all of these unhealthy practices, as I work through with clients, like I recognize still my own unhealthy practices. You are going to be blown away at what God starts to reveal to you and then how he continues to work through you to heal these unhealthy thoughts. I read the Bible over and over since 2016, and never in there have I read about a weight loss goal or not eating the things that He has put on the earth. When I read in there, I read about walking in Holy Spirit obedience, letting God do the work in you that only He can do because He needs us to go out and make disciples. And so much in this culture, we're so worried about ourselves, what we look like, what we're wearing, how much income we make. We forget that the Great Commission says, love other people and teach them about me. How can we do that when we're so obsessed about our dream body or reaching our weight loss goals? We can't because we're self focused. We're not called to be self focused, we're called to be outward focused. If you want to achieve your dream body, you have to start fueling her. You have to start giving her all of the things that she needs, which is food, which is movement, which is rest, which is water. And when you start to walk in Holy Spirit obedience, God is going to show you how to do these things. And then you have to be willing and able to lay down your pride, be willing to gain 6 to 10, maybe pounds your first 30 to 45 days, maybe even your first 60 days, because your body's going to take in all this food and it's going to be like, oh, wow, hey, what the heck? She's actually feeding me what I need. Your body's going to hang on to that because so many times it's hanging on to every calorie when you've been underfed that it wants to make sure it's hanging on to the calories when you're overfed so that she actually gets what she needs. And then she's going to figure out that you're actually fueling her properly. And then she's going to start to release what she doesn't need. And then pretty soon the pounds are going to fall off. Your body's going to change because she's getting enough protein. This is the way. If you want to achieve your dream body, you have to start fueling her properly. Your nutrition is the key. It's not exercise. It's getting enough of the right foods, drinking half your weight in ounces every single day, and sleeping quality, good sleep. Putting our phones down, setting a social media boundary. These are the habits that will get you to that dream body. I promise. I hope this blessed you. I know I shared some tough stuff today, but I want you to remove the habits of diet culture, break free of those chains, and let God work.
Hey, sweets, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who may also want to lose weight without all the dieting and restriction? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. Okay, it's time to go make a protein shake and get my sweat on. No more standing in the kitchen waiting for motivation to appear. I'll meet you back next week for another episode. Be blessed.